I know, like, I feel like marriage Hubamba Mafala. Like, no, and no, it's not like that. It's just Divo.
I support Chebet Ronoh 100%. Marriage hubamba mafala. Na mafala ndio wengi, ndio maana wengi wenu mmejam. Period. Mi siamini mpaka saizi yani kuna watu wenye wanaona marriage ikiwa achievements. Open your mind. There's so many things in the world to do other than just look forward to get married and settle and just finish your life like that. Mafala ndo ubambika na marriage by the way. Na kama wewe kukuwa na mtu for the rest of your life, like it's something that it's such a big achievement, my friend. You need to get more smarter. You need to open your mind. There are bigger things out there in the world, man. You need to think bigger. You need to think bigger. Saweni, mafala, mwache kujam.
I've been told, you'll die alone. You're blasphemous to God. May you repent for saying marriage. Jutu nimesema imagine staki mtu for the rest of my days. Na imagine na iwa husu. You have to really ask yourself, is it really enticing if I have to be abused into it? Many questions that need answers. Also, guys, unafaa kujiuliza maswali mingi. Why am I so controlling of a stranger? I don't know this person. Like, we want her to online, but I feel the need to control her. And control her perception so she cannot control the other girls. I love human psychology. It's my favorite thing ever. Because marriage is their destiny, na opinion yangu ime distort you. How? Anyway, guys, poverty is truly the actual enemy. I'm not the bad guy. And if you don't have money, that's a personal problem, trust. Because I just found out today that people are paying dating coaches tens of thousands of dollars. Poverty, the choice. You can just come to this internet and say things in a very slow tone with music in the background and people will pay you money for advice and coaching. Do you understand how poverty is becoming a choice? Sell that coaching program today. Sell that ebook on how to open a box today. I never thought that I'd be rich off a diet plan. I mean, but here we are. Mind you, they are still paying the lady who had come out as a high-value woman coach and was a side chick to a married man. But they're still paying her. I don't know what for. I think they want to know, what did you mean by... Poverty is truly the only enemy. Don't be lied to.
In the spirit of marriage, Hubamba, Mafala. Hey. Wah, lakini kweli. Anyway, I have read something very interesting, not verified, that some of the worst leaders are the unhappily married people. And I'm asking you unhappily married people who are leading people as managers, Kwani, why have you decided to live your life as an open book? That when you come to work and there was no morning glory, everyone can tell. When you come to work and you had an issue last night, everyone can read it on your face. When you've had a fight or an argument, it is so clear to the team members. Please spare your juniors. Be emotionally intelligent. Cover up your shit when you get to work. It doesn't need to be so obvious that, hey, Leo looks like they're in good terms with their husband. Hey, today looks like, again, they're back to their cycle. Ay, bana, hide your personal lives. Let it not be so obvious that they can tell today she didn't nini. You cover up. You don't need to look like your problems. Huh? Mafala. Anyway, mimi ni fala. Na nimebambika tu kuwa fala. Wacha nibambike na hiyo ufala, because hiyo ufala kuna mali inanisaidia.
So Ronoh says marriage is interesting to foolish women. And I think she was being funny, but let's talk about it, okay? And no, I'm not married. So you cannot come with that, oh, you're married, that's why you're tearing married. No, I'm not married. You will never see a woman who married well or who has a good partner ever say this kind of things or have this kind of mindset. You will never see a woman who has benefited personally from marriage and, you know, being married to a good husband ever have this negative point of view towards marriage. She will always have, you know, some negative sides, but she will mostly emphasize on the positive sides. You people are taking marriage advice from women who married rubbish men. Okay? You're taking marriage advice from side chicks who tell you, oh, all married men cheat, all married men cheat, all married men cheat, all men cheat. Yes, because to a side chick, all men cheat because she's in bed with one. Those are the women that are giving you marital advice on these internet streets. And you're believing them. You're taking advice from women who married men who believe that if you use a dishwasher or a vacuum cleaner as a woman, it makes you lazy. And do you think these women have anything good to say about marriage? You are taking marriage advice from women who married men who believe that as a wife, you have to go and work and give all your money to your husband for your husband to decide. And do you think these women are actually enjoying their marriage? Women are married out here to men who believe if you push out a baby, then it makes you a woman. But if you do C-section, you're not woman enough. And do you think these women are enjoying their marriage? You are married to a man who has 5, 6, 7, 8 baby mamas. And in your head, you think you're different. And you think you're going to enjoy your marriage? You have been being cheated on as a girlfriend. He has cheated on you as a girlfriend internationally, globally, like Davido. And you think marriage is going to be fun for these women? Marriage is fun for women who are selfish. Women who prioritize themselves. Women who know how to live life as a wife, live life as a mother, and live life as a woman. But you people don't like this type of women, especially in Africa. You people, you don't like the mrugis of this world who have a personality outside of being married, who can enjoy their life as women. You don't like it. You are in their comments saying, oh, as a wife, how can you say that? Did your husband let you out like that, dressed like that? As a mother, how can you say that? How can you do this as a married woman? You're embarrassing your wife, your husband. You don't like this type of women. But these women are the ones who are enjoying marriage, struggle or not. You are taking advice from women who married men who have no principle, whose entire generation of men, they have never seen faithfulness. They have never seen kindness. They have never seen their fathers treat their mothers with kindness, with love, with care, with gentleness and respect. And you think these men are going to make good husbands? Let's be serious. Marriage is like voting for Ruto. You knew his history of wickedness, but you still voted for him because in your head you're like, oh, he changed. He told us he has changed. He told us he'll bring this. He told us he'll do this and do this for us. Are you not crying? That's exactly what happens to you as a woman when you marry wrong. You will cry. Marriage is the fastest way for a woman to gain financial security if you marry well. But if you don't marry well, so while people are here telling you, giving you all this negative connotation of marriage, marriage is a risk. You marry well, you enjoy life. You marry wrong, your life dwindles. You are taking advice from women who abandoned themselves since they got married, and they're like, oh, everything, my husband. They don't hang out with their single friends because to them single friends are a threat to their marriage. And these are the women that are giving you marital advice. Of course, marriage is hard for them because when you abandon yourself, marriage will be hard. Because marriage is just like a bump on the road. It's not the final destination. But most of you, once you get married, now everything is my husband. And these are the women that are giving you marital advice.
Good morning. Rono said that marriage Hubamba Mafala. Na wa mama na wa baba wako huko nje wanapapatika kama samaki nje ya maji. Why? Because they do not want to accept that goodness. Maybe I got married for someone else's gain and not my gain. And the people who are most perturbed are the women who are married, who want to make it look like marriage was the best decision for them. Not that we're faulting you. And men who think and feel like they are threatened because when many women start coming out and saying, you know what? Marriage is not for me. I do not want marriage. Then we are systemically stepping aside from structures that have been strategically put in place to tie us down. Now, this is gonna be a long post because I want to break down the marriage institution for you. The last time I did this, I was dragged to the ends of the world because apparently a married man is paying for my bills. I think that is one of the signs that, marriage may not be the best thing because why is your man paying for my bills? But it was a hypothetical, I mean. So, without much further ado, let us get into the meat of the matter. Please take out your pen. If you're planning on getting married, I'm not saying that you should not get married. I'm saying that you write this down, put that notebook under your bed, so that when the things in marriage starts happening, don't ask yourself, oh, nobody told me marriage is like this. No, you will remember kuna kasichana kadogo kenye mdomo mkubwa, kanaitwa Cindy, kalisema haya maneno, okay? First things first. Tulishaongelea how marriage and nuclear families came to be, right? Right. Now, I need us to talk about something else. I need us to talk about why it is that men get married. Because you have seen that men will look for the meekest, most agreeable, most domesticatable woman. Amwoe na ampe watoto. And then this man will go out there and live his best life, cheating on this woman and only only pretending to change his ways when this woman looks like she's had enough and she's about to leave. Right? You all don't know what these men are doing. For most men, their soulmates are fellow men. Okay? But they have realized one thing. Men are not naturals. It is true. Biology says it. Men are not naturals. It is women that are naturals. So, wives and kids are an insurance policy. That's why he's not good to you right now. They are an insurance policy that he will go on and live his best life. And when he is older, and he doesn't have the company of fellow men, because fellow men cannot nurture him the way he needs to be nurtured when he is older, he will go back to the people who he claims are his flesh and blood. And you, as the woman who has been chosen first to be agreeable, to be very domesticatable, meaning you're unproblematic and you're very forgiving, you will be with open arms, waiting to be the private caregiver for his last days. That is one of the reasons why these men are marrying. They are not marrying because they love you. They are marrying because they see, this woman will serve me. When I make my videos on here telling women and girls that marriage is not the end all be all, you know, and you can actually have a life outside of pleasing a man, there is a man who always comes onto my comments to say that I am a lazy woman if I don't want to get married, and it is only lazy women that don't want to get married. The subtext is as loud as the biggest headline today. Because right there you can see the entitlement to domestic labor, to emotional labor that is free. Yani ukiamka asubuhi uende kazini, you work your ass off mpaka jioni. Ukirudi, mwanaume yeye akitoka kazini ni time yake ya kurelax. Wewe ukitoka kazini you clock in. And women like to say here, oh, you know, my man has nannies for me. We've seen, Rispa Faith came on here the other day and she broke down. How many kids does she have? 1 kid. Mwanamke bomba tena na hela yake. Na hata yeye ana feel the pangs of motherhood and being the primary caregiver, even with 3 nannies and the sister living in the house. Na je wewe na nani wako mmoja mwenye hata si a trained nani, ni msichana wa watu mwenye amemaliza form 4 umemweka kwa nyumba. So you have to train her to do everything. Hata studies inaonyesha that husbands wenye wako employed, they have more free time than employed wives, because once you leave your job you come and clock in the house. And unlike your job, kwa nyumba hakuna mtu ana keep track. Ile kazi yenye umefanya leo, tomorrow you wake up and you do it all over again. And if you say you don't want to, you're a lazy woman. Why? Because men have been conditioned to expect you to be a house cleaning appliance, expect you to be a dishwashing appliance, expect you to be an African cuisine appliance in the house. And on top of that, uwe tena kama sekete waka, umpe mastyle zote deadly. Na pia uchunge usimpe sana kwa sababu ukimpa sana atasema, oh, you're not wife material, because how do you know this thing goes? You will do good as a woman to press that follow button. Just follow, because all my videos on here have very many nuggets of wisdom. Let me go to the next point. Motherhood, parenthood. Niliwaambia hapa wa vijana wenye wakuku nje hata hawana bibi, hawana watoto. Wakiapply kazi wanasema their husbands, they are married and their wife is either pregnant ama ako na newborn. Do you know why? Wakisema tu hivi wao ni mabwana, wanaongezwa hela, because huku nje wanasemekana eti bwana ndo wanatunza bibi. It doesn't matter that these men bring 1/3 of their income kwa nyumba. Now, when do you have to bring 100% of your income? That doesn't matter. When a man tells his employer that ako na bibi nyumbani, that ako na watoto, in fact, ako na mtoto on the way, anaambiwa atoke kazi mapema ende akahang out na boys badala kuja kukurab miguu. Anaongezwa hela ili akakununulia diaper na pram ya mtoto, lakini hiyo ndo pesa anatumia kwenda kwa road trip ya watu wenye wana own Nissan Note. Yes. Wanaongezwa hela because they're husbands. Wewe kama mwanamke choose to get pregnant today. First things first, your employer, most employers, wanasema, oh jamani, so now I'm gonna have to look for someone to stand in for you when you go on maternity leave. Kwa hivyo, most employers hawataki all that. It also do, you'll go on maternity leave, we find someone else, and then you'll come back, and then we'll have to let the other person go. No, they let you go. They're like, yeah, thank you. When you're ready, you can come back, but that's telling you, sister, nenda ukiendaga. Most women wakishapata watoto, income yao inapungua, manake now you don't have a job. Now you're not performing at your job the way you're supposed to, meaning you're easily replaceable. Let's not even talk about the fact that kwanza ukiwa na mtoto, you're missing out on so many opportunities. I told you here about how I was invited to an opportunity, and because I didn't have someone to take care of my child, I couldn't go. And it was just pure luck that these people understood and they decided to accommodate my needs at that time. Most women do not have that luxury. You have to choose between your child and that opportunity. And most times, because there's no one else for that child, because the man is treating the child as a pet. Yeye bora mtoto yuko hai anapumua, that's okay. Achungulie hivyo mtoto ako sawa, that's okay. That's the end of it. You are the primary caregiver. So where when do wamue, will I go after this opportunity to make money, or will I stay with my child? And you have all been socialized to believe that motherhood is the greatest gift of all. And it isn't. So while a woman is getting thinner, is getting more depressed because she is burnt out, she is working her ass off at work and working her ass off at home, the man is out here thriving. Why? Because there is someone taking care of everything else. As a woman, you would thrive too if you had someone taking care of all the household chores, someone taking care of everything, scheduling everything for you and your kids. In short, you have the pride to come outside and say, I have a wife and kids. But you do not do the work. As long as you just throw a little money at them so that they have a house to live in, they're going to school and they have food, that's it for you. Meanwhile, the women are suffering every day, giving away free domestic labor, free emotional labor that is considered not to be labor. I have also been attacked on here for talking about how women are removing themselves from the money-making scene as soon as a man has shown you a little attention and told you, oh, I want to keep you in my house. You're forgetting that these men are not reliable, and when you're divorced or separated, you are going to come down several notches when it comes to your quality of life. No one is talking about how you are going to be starting from scratch because you gave your best years to a man, and now you're going back to the job field. You do not have a resume. You have how many years that no one has seen you work. No one knows what you are doing. You haven't developed any skills because you thought that being married to a man was a source of income and it was a way of life. Women are upset because Amira has been held to their faces and now they have to question whether the decisions
Rono amesema ya kwamba wale wanabambwa na marriage watu ni mafala, yani marriage wanga inabamba mafala peke yake. Na nataka niongezee pia mimi niseme ya kwamba wale ambao hawabambwi na marriage, wenye wapendi marriage kabisa, pia wao ni mafala. So hii ni dunia ya mafala. So vile unafanya kama fala, unaenda kama ni pro marriage, unavaa hiyo ufala, unaitosheleza, unaona hii ufala ndio inanifit. Tembea nayo. Kama ni anti marriage, unaenda unavaa hiyo ufala yako ya kuwa anti marriage, kama inakufit, tembea nayo. Kwa sababu either way ni dunia ya ufala. Whether married or not, whether pro marriage or not, whether pro whatever, yote ni ufala. Na ni ya wafala, na so ni dunia ya ufala. So with all due respect, hakuna pande ambayo haina ufala. Kila mtu ni fala. Na kama ulikuwa unafikiri kuna pande hauna ufala, toka hapo uende kule njoo, hata wewe utumie akili, utumie macho, uone kile upande iko na ufala. Dunia ya mafala.
Overman them. And let me deep it. I'm not even mad at this. Everyone to each their own. There's no way you can convince me this is healthy. There's not a human being. There's not even anything in this world that is worth that pedestalization. I don't think you people get it. I love love. Like, I don't think love is the problem. I think you guys just make it your entire, you just make it your entire God. I think it's just the most shallow thing ever to make meeting someone and loving them your entire life the entire purpose of your life, where you're enduring and you're enduring and you're sacrificing and you're dying because of this one thing. I just wish you people knew how powerful you are. There's so much more to life. There's so much more. Can you even do the splits? Can you do the splits? Have you done Mount Kenya, Mount Kilimanjaro over a stranger, bro? It's never that deep.
I think I finally understand why there's so much backlash. Initially, I was in agreement with the statement, but it was based on my perception of the statement. But after broadening what can be meant from this particular statement, we can see where the problem comes from. If she had given context in the first video that she's giving in the second video, all of this would have been avoided, because this is a sensitive topic, and sensitive topics don't need hot takes. From this statement alone, it seems as if she's attacking the people who are married, the people who want to get married, who are in the process, the people who dream about getting married, and that's a huge number of individuals. And to just call them fools without any context is folly. But given context, I believe the statement is weirdly appropriate in this age, especially since majority of the information that we're getting on marriage is negative. I said this on my other platform, that if a majority of the experiences are negative and we don't have the positive experiences to balance things out, then it is smart to believe that you are more likely to get into a negative experience than you are to get into a positive experience in marriage, based on how everything is structured currently. And even if you look at the past, her argument makes sense, and it's absolutely true that marriage, benefited the men. Absolutely right, from the labor, etc. And from the experiences that women have talked about being in marriage over a prolonged period of time with, for a lack of better word, insane partners, you can clearly see where the disenfranchisement with marriage comes from. So I just believe that this is bad wording.
Nimekuja kurealize mnaonanga mademu wanakuanga against men, alafu unaonanga machali wanakuanga narcissist, wanakuanga violent, wanapigana wezi. These ladies wanakuanga attracted to those goons, those narcissistic men. I think hii world inakuanga too spiritual kiplani, kwa sababu narcissist men kwa unataka olewa na nani? Ni wewe mtu mwenye you are choosing bad decisions. Una choose to a violent man, and also the next relationship bado una fall to another violent man. Unakuja bado kutukana the other fellow men of how marriage work. It's because your fate was supposed to be lazima uwe a narcissist person. Kwa unataka olewe na nani? It's because you keep falling in love with those people wenye wanakupiga mangumi, those violent people. That is your fate. Na ni shida yako.
Ati Chebet Ronoh anasema ati ndoa uwe inabamba mafala peke yake. Sasa ndoa uwe inabamba mafala peke yao na we ni muuni. We ni muuni na tena we si virgin. Unajua kuna vile wauni kichwai kwange mzuri. Wamesikia mangoma kwa volume ya juu, wamejiongelesha kwa nyumba, most of them are psychopath. Unadharau ndoa aje na uwe umewekwa na mtu mwenye ako kwa ndoa. Unadharau ndoa na kunadi wenye wanaenda kwa waganga. Kuna wenye wanaenda hadi kuombewa, wanadhani wamekasiwa just ndio wako tu kwa ndoa. Bwana, ndoa ni holy. Kwanza ukienda kwa school of law, marriage law ni unit kama tu jurisprudence na law of torts. Wezi dharau ndoa wadau. Ndoa ni institution, wezi fight institution ili tengenezwa hata kama bado hujazaliwa wadau.
Nimekama across video ya Ronoh akisema ati marriage ubamba mafala. Let me tell you, I'm always a Ronoh fan, but in this case I am not. I love her, guys. I love her. Na hata nikwambia, hata nikimchukia kwani mtadu. I'm here to tell her one thing or a couple of things. Number one, you cannot talk about something that you've never experienced. Wewe unaongelelea marriage, have you ever been married? No. So why? Number two, mbona utuite mafala? Mbona utite mafala lakini? Uleza sema ati Rashid Abdalla na Lulu Hassan ni mafala. Yeah? Uleza sema such beautiful couples. Na pia leo ametraddress akasema ati you cannot be talking about this if kama ikomi wewe, because you are addressing it. Why are you talking about it? Why are you talking about it, girl? Kama haikumi, you cannot expect people to keep quiet and you're bado unaongea.
I have a question. If you guys truly believe to your core that marriage is secure and worth it and stable and all these things, why are you triggered? And you know what's crazy is you've been so defensive, so offended, and I don't even matter. I'm not gonna marry you. I'm not God. I don't have any rules or says over the things that you do with your life or that what people decide to do. So why are you angry that a stranger thinks marriage is stupid? That's if marriage isn't stupid. Why are you offended? In my 25 years, I've never seen a secure person stretch to defend themselves. I see secure people as grounded, in fact, okay with the opinions of others. Most of the time, they don't even care to explain themselves, really. Yet, due to my opinion, I've been called a mad woman, a broken clock. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. But if you truly see the need to be combative, then maybe marriage isn't as stable as you think it is. To you, you just are debating, but there's some truth. Okay, I was listening to a divorce lawyer talk about these things. About 40 to 50% of marriages end up in divorce. This is something that's happening in the world. Now, that doesn't mean that all marriages fail and all people who get married fail. But I think, in my opinion, in my worldview, in my home, it doesn't make sense to me. Why does that upset you? Unless maybe, just maybe, you're unsure about it yourself. But because it's all you've known and you've never questioned it. In fact, you don't even let a thought sit with you for a minute. I understand. You just do things because people before you did them, because the Bible told you to do them. And thank you, darling, for bringing up the Bible, because I would love to bring my receipts. The same Bible that you use to condemn me and call me sinful and all kinds of names, typical human being behavior, says this about marriage. Matthew 19:10-12. After Jesus spoke about the seriousness of marriage and no easy divorce, the disciples said, if this is the matter between a husband and a wife, it is better not to marry. Even the disciples knew the weight of the responsibility. There's more! Paul spoke about this in the Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 7:28. But those who marry will face troubles in this life. I want to spare you this. So, why isn't marriage being spoken about in its complexity and entirety? But no, we want to sell the event, we want to sell the wedding, we want to send the Rora show. But what happens when everyone goes home? Why are you not talking about it? And I noticed that the men are a bit angry. I wonder why. Obviously because they're benefiting the labor. Or is it about control? I guess we'll never know. But what do I know? Remember, I'm just a broken clock. I'm just a crazy girl. Never forget. I think if you want to speak about its entirety. And don't sugarcoat it just because you want more members in your club. That's unfair for the members. You've never really sat down and questioned yourself, what do I think about this regime? And that's why when a stranger comes here and says, I think marriage is dumb, you become combative. Let us sit in it. The word is sit in it. And even after all this video, I could be wrong. Because that's what a secure person does. Questions all their beliefs. Have a good day.
Ronoh said, ndo inabamba mafala na si ni ukweli. Uko juu ya nini? Juu ya misheveve na ugali. Huwezi jilisha mwanamke mkubwa kama wewe. Unataka mwanaume akulishe. Hujawahi ona ka fridge ukakimbilia huko? TV ya 85 inch dada huwezi jinunulia, uliona kwa mwanaume ndio maana umekatalia huko. Kama wewe ni mwanamke bomba, mbona usijinunulie hizo vitu? Mbona ona venye unakaa vibaya kama clown kwa nyumba za wenyewe? Toka huko, unabeba ufala. Kasichana kakubwa kaizi kajinunulia ugali ya ndovu. Na si ni ukweli? Mnaendanga kwa ndoa juu ya mwezi kujilisha ugali? Si ni ukweli? Kujeni mnichape. Juu mtu anachito ni anakuchapa makofi kila siku. Ni nini umekatalia huko? Hati juu ya nini? Juu huna chakula na una mahali pa kulala. Kwendeni huko.
Yeah? Hey. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, marriage works, marriage doesn't work. Unajua, tuko na different experiences, okay? So according to you, marriage doesn't work, but according to us, marriage works. And marriagehubamba mafala, okay, ni sawa. But see, some of us view marriage differently, and maybe it's because of the experience we have had in the past. Some of us truly grow in good households. We never saw our father disrespecting our mother. We never saw him beating our mother. We never saw our mothers disrespecting our fathers. Those people just loved each other and respected one another, and that's how we grew up. Our dad was the man of the house. Our mom was the woman in the house. And that was the structure. Na tuliishi hivyo na tukaishi poa mpaka saizi. Wakatuzaa watoto wengi hapo. Wakatupeleka shule, wakatulea vizuri. Tukakuja tukakuwa the men and the women that we are today. And we believe that marriage works because we saw it from what our parents did. And what our parents did, the respect they gave each other, the love they gave each other, the support they gave each other, is what we want to transfer to our future families and even do better than that. So some of us believe that marriage si ati ni ya mafala. But again, wewe kama uko na different opinion, we respect that because we are different human beings, we have different preferences, we have been brought up differently, we have had different life experiences and everything. We respect that too. That is your opinion. That doesn't make you a bad person or whatever. Like, it's okay. But don't come out here and force your beliefs on other people. Okay? Some of us have dated or are dating great human beings. Very good, calm, quiet human beings that we really wish to be with for the rest of our lives. Life is already good, yes, but we feel that with them, life will be better than what it is today. And we want to be with them. And they want to be with us, right? So, wewe kama umekuwa na experience yako pengine hata from dating,
ilikuwa mbaya or whatever, so you believe like kukaa nao watu forever in life itakuwa like something shitty. That's on you, that's not on us. Okay, hiyo ni mambo yako. Some of us have had a very different experience dealing with human beings. It's the same way watu sema all the world is full of shitty people. Yeah, there is shitty people in the world, yes, but some of us have not experienced these shitty people. Some of us watu wamekuwa wajinga kwa maisha yetu, watu wamekuwa baya kwa maisha yetu ni wachache sana. Some of us, a lot of people who have been in our lives wamekuwa great human beings. That's why we love human beings. We believe that human beings are good people. There is only a very little fraction of human beings that are shitty. Unaona? Like, mimi naona mambo tu iko hivyo. If you don't believe in marriage, well and good. Some of you were not made for it. Some of you might not be good at it. But some people were made for it and are good at it. Some ladies are okay to be submissive, to be supportive, to be a mother, to be nurturing and everything. Some are not. Some people just have it in them. Some people don't have it in them, right? Some men cannot be like ready to provide, protect, be gentlemen, be the dads and everything. They're not ready for that, or they cannot be that. But some men can, okay? So, wezi kujapo generalize watu ukisema ati marriage hubamba mafala. No. You just have a different experience in umekuwa nayo ya marriage. And again, how many marriages have you been into? Umoleka mara ngapi? Ama hata hujaioleka? Okay. Sijui. And how many marriages have you seen zenye una refer from? Because I've come to learn that a lot of people, especially in this generation of ours, we live by what we see on the social media and believe what we see on social media. And there is a lot of people who are doing so well out here in their marriages or in their life, success and everything, who are not putting all these stuff on social media. Sasa wakishaona tu sijui marriage nani me break, sijui ati Mlamwa na Ruth K, some 2 kids hapo wameachana. Ukishaona sijui relationship ya nani na nani, watoto wengine pia wawili walikutana tu pale wameachana. Wanatry kujitafuta, wajelewi bado vizuri, ushaanza ku jump into conclusion that watu walikuwa wanapendana sana, their relationship didn't work, relationships don't work, their marriage didn't work, marriages don't work. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Stop living your life on social media and live a real life. Make references from real things that you're seeing in real life. Because where I come from, I've seen so many successful marriages. My parents' marriage being one of them. So many successful marriages. These people have achieved what they wanted to achieve as a companion. Wamepata watoto, wame create wealth pamoja, wameishi pamoja. They're in their late years, 60s, 70s, 80s. They're still together and they love one another. I've seen that happening in so many marriages. Sasa hizi stories zenu mingi ndo kidogo hatu understand. But anyway, as I said, kila mtu amekuwa na different life experience and people are just different, preferences and everything, and every opinion is welcomed. So that's my opinion and you have yours too. Okay, so we cool. Do you, I do me, to each their own.
Just imagine someone who's never lived a life of luxury telling you money isn't everything. Wewe hujaiona mita kwa account alafu unaniambia money isn't everything. You've never had the experience of walking into a room, kila mtu, and then everyone in that room is like, hey boss, chama, hey kiongozi, and then you're telling me money is not everything. Equally, you've never had a successful relationship and then you're telling me marriage hubamba mafala. Hakuna relationship tushaiona hapa online yako yenye ni successful, hata ya mabeshte. Mara mabeshte wamekupiga sijui huku left, right and center. Drama nyingi friendships zenyewe zako, they're not successful, and then you're telling me marriage hubamba mafala. Let me tell you why she thinks marriage hubamba mafala. Because in her head she's a very smart woman. By the way, she's a very smart woman. Very smart woman. But she's failed. Even in the basic of relationships, friendships, she's failed. Relationships, nothing. So to her, to be successful in those sort of relationships lazima kuwe fala, because mimi na akili yangu yote mbona sija maneuver, mbona sina any successful relationship mimi na akili yangu yote. So that means for you to have a successful marriage lazima kuwe fala, lazima kuwe fala. Wewe unatamita kwa account hapa alafu unaanza kuniambia hata money isn't everything. Wewe kwenda huko.
Let me just summarize this video for those who will not be able to later on watch what I have to say. I feel like this creator coming on here to say marriage is for fools is a beautiful reason for us to look at how emotional and social contagions and how they play in the perception of marriage. Because here's a young woman who's never been married, never experienced marriage, but seems to have very strong feelings about marriage. So that's a clear example of social or emotional contagions, whether it's from just the rampant femicides that we're seeing within institutions of marriage or the crazy amount of infidelity. So yeah, when I have time, which might be next year, like around March, I intend to critically research and maybe write a paper on that, because I think that would be really interesting to just look into for the heck of it, you know. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Jen, talk about the whole marriage is for fools thing. I honestly have nothing to say, okay? Because it's my birthday week. I'm not about to feud with anybody. Absolutely not, okay? However, I will say this. Please exercise your common sense while taking advice here on social media, myself included, okay? Because a lot of people are just speaking from their traumas, their experiences that might be very different from your own. Personally, I'm not a very big fan. I do not gravitate to these people who come on here with very sharp think pieces, yet their personal life presents the alternative. That's just not my cup of tea, okay? However, I'm not triggered when someone says that marriage is for fools, because if you have not had the most pleasant experience with human beings in general, because marriage is not just women picking men, it's men picking women. If you have not had good friends, the friends who've come around you have not treated you well, the connections you've had, you know, like every connection you've had in your life just ends in tragedy or trauma, I can understand why you might look at marriage as a foolish thing, because what other experience do you know? Because marriage is essentially an eternal commitment to another human being, right? So yeah, it's not triggering at all. I personally don't care. Like, there's some good marriages, bad marriages. I've said that before. I'm going to say that again. So maybe the ones in happy marriages need to talk more. And the last time I tried to say that, yeah, maybe we need to see more happy marriages to just you know, give us faith. Remember when Miss Stockholm Syndrome over there tried to attack me for saying that? So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, God bless you. Bye. Happy birthday to me.
I will tell you, my fellow men, my second marriage failed because of one thing: alcohol. Wacha niwaambie ukweli. Ya pili ilikataa kwa sababu ya ulevi wangu. I was too much of a drunkard. Nilikuwa nakunywa pombe sana. I come home late, nalala juu ya hangover. I'm not spending time with my wife. I will say the truth. Nawaambia wanaume wenzangu, kwa sababu ili kazi yangu hapa ni kujaribu kuwaerevusha. We cannot be walking around with failed marriages and families anymore. Somebody needs to talk. Somebody needs to talk. Ilikuwa kitu kidogo nakimbia club. Kitu kidogo nakimbia club. Ni sijui nini mafanyika nyumbani, sijui tumegombanishana, naenda dunda. Na kuja saa 11 na niko na pesa. Mimi si maskini, hiyo ni kitu mnajua. Mimi I'm not poor. Siku zangu za maskini ziliisha. So nilikuwa na pesa ya pombe. And I was always drunk. Na kusema ukweli, unajua wanawake wanafanyanga vile vitu ambavyo sisi bwana zetu tunafanya. Hata yeye mwenyewe pombe ikaanza kumlemea. And we could not solve issues in a sober manner. And that is the truth. Na yeye pia na makosa yake alifanya. Mimi siaibiki. I was wrong. I messed up. I'm not perfect. Pia mimi nilikosa. Can we stop lying? Can we stop lying? Say the truth. When you say the truth, you start working on yourself. Ukikubali ukweli wako na makosa wako, you start healing. Only when you accept the truth about yourself and the wrongs and the traumas is the only way you start healing from them. Kwa hivyo mimi kama Dr. Foneke siwezi tembea nikiwabebesha mama za watoto wangu makosa yote. Pia mimi nilikosea. Hakuna vile mwanaume unalewa kila siku. It is wrong. I will tell you it is wrong. It is wrong, my fellow men.
Yo, before uoe, nataka nikuambie hizi vitu tatu yenye unafaa kutake very serious. Kuna mademu watatu. The first girl, umemtoa, hii ni wale madenge tunasemanga, umemtoa kwa club, mnakunywanga naye pombe, mnatei naye. Kuna second girl mwenye analalanga kwa church. Udem anakesha pale kwa church. Third girl yenye tunamwongelelea ni ule denge wa wapi? Wa kienyeji. So, before uoe, huwa una categorize madenge mara tatu. You have a church girl, you have a bar, you call dirty girls, alafu you have a kienyeji girl. Now, to be honest with you, these three girls, yenye nime specify, wanafanana. They have the same thing. But you have to work with it. Like, kama ni denge kienyeji, bro, join relationship yenye na bo. So you have a clean past. Hakuna reputation yake ati kuna sijui aliai lala na nani, sijui aliai lala ba wapi, sijui amewahi fungwa jela. It's very clean. Kwa wanamjua, ako best. But relationship in a bo. In a bo. Like, you are like a king, bana. Okay, baby, nilikuwa na hata baby uweze muita, kienyeji uweze muita, mbona umuite kienyeji baby? Wa pili ni ule denge wa bar, mnalalanga naye kwa bar. Mnakunywa naye pombe. Bro, marry that girl na uanze kuzoea maisha yake ya kitambo chafu. Ukisikia aliai kuwa na sijui nani, bro, enjoy na maisha isonge, relationship iendelee. Alilala bar. Aliwahi sijui pigwa risasi kidogo, akaumia kidogo, nini. Ashayolewa kidogo, ako na watoto 5 huko nje. Lazima uzoe. Huyu denge mwenye unamuona ngako msafi. Charge girl bro. Lazima uende na venye anataka. So like, they're all the same, nigga. You just have to deal with it. Kufa kijeshi. Mimi naonanga kama mdenge wa huyu worst na huyu safi, they're all the same. So just choose and accept.
Lala kwa kiti. Hiyo kitanda hatuwezi toshea wawili. Kwanza acha nikae hivi. Ukinikumbusha jana niliota sijui ukinichitu wewe. Ukinikumbusha niliota hivyo haki ya Mungu wewe. Haya. Endelea chenye ulikuwa unasema. Na kama wewe mapoko wake kama anakujanga anawaambia eti anakuanga amenikalia, huyu akiwa kama hayuko home nimpigie, anachukuanga kama ameuliza ni nini? Asiba anaongea. Sema chenye ulikuwa unasema.
Sasa si umefanya ni sahau. Sasa hivyo ndo mnafanyana.
Ulikuwa unasema mambo ya kotini, acha kujifanya umesahau.
Uende kotini nikupeleke kotini kama saa hii. Nikusuu kama bibi yangu. Unajua mtu anaweza kusuu. Nikwambie babe, sema au malaya ulikuwa unasema niliambia wako wapi ni wagani?
Haya, hadi ulikuwa umewambia utanithreaten kunisuu. Ulikuwa umewambia utanithreaten kunisuu in front of the camera. Unajifanya ni example unatumia but unanithreaten indirect. Mimi indirect. Guys, ninamsikia. Bora tu alikuwa anataka tu aonyeshe. Guys, muniombe juu saizi napumua kama blow dry. Kama dragon.
Okay. Sasa umeget.
Si hakuna kitu nimeget.
Okay, hapa conclusion ni gani?
Conclusion ni ati usijaribu kufanya hizo tizi, watu wamekataa.
Mimi sifanyi juu ya watu.
Unafanya juu kuna ati wao wa malaya wako wenye wanapenda kama wanakuchochanga. Wacha nikwambie ukijaribu kufanya hizo tizi utakaa kilolipop. Ukao ukijua hivyo.
Hey gosh, man.
Hiyo kwa ukijua hiyo eka kwa akili.
Okay, guys, mbona wewe ni kuchill? Mimi
haya, mnasikia ati mbona wewe ni kuchill like as if I'm nobody. Na unaniuliza. Guys, mnamsikia? Unaona malaya wako wameanza kukuandikia hapa tipita reply message please. Sinaona wanawake wako.
WhatsApp yangu imehakiwa.
Mliongea na wao set.
Sasa na set aje bibi na wewe unajua hadi mambo ya simu.
Najua mambo ya simu lakini nikienda kutafuta siwezi pata hao malaya wako, si ndio? Kuna kwenye una kwangu umewaeka.
Sasa wapi?
Archive.
Sasa kama unajua
yako kwa nyumba na kutoto tu message tu archive, lakini nasema juu ninajijua sukari yangu itapanda nisifungue. Alafu ukimuuliza ati ni watu wenye wananisumbuanga. Watu wenye wanamsumbuanga guys.
Haya, tulikuwa wapi?
Niliona pita mahali na kadem kwa gari, unasikia? Hao ndio unataka kufanyia tizi.
Mimi nimechoka guys. Okay. That's why siwezi kubishana na
jaribu niite dem
mwanamke.
Unaniita? Oh my god.
Okay.
My god. Mnamsikia?
Mwanadada.
Usiniite mwanadada ni kama sisi ni wa kanisa. Usijaribu kuniita ni kama mimi ni wa mama wa praise and worship wewe. Usijaribu.
Juu nimechoka. Okay, babe, nakuuliza aje.
Carlos kubali aende gym.
Kwa nini? Okay, hebu semeni reason.
Na hizo magari zako ndaziweka traka nikiwaiona imesimama mahali panaandikwa gym. Utajua kwa nini kuku iko jwangi.
Si mimi najua.
Utajua.
Sinajua.
Usijaribu kuniambia tamini.
Aya, sikizeni. Muamini Karo anajipenda. Babe, si chill tu nipeane example.
Ukiniita Karo tena na unanishika wewe. Asif mimi ni sister yako.
Okay.
Haya, kuonyeshana venye unanyuma amani hii nyumba. Hey God. Ati sasa ni yeye amekasirika kunichana ati ni kujicontrol temper. Buda. Rudisha hiyo kitu inakaa kifua na huko nyuma. Sema chenye ulikuwa unasema.
Take on marriage hubamba mafala ni ati ni ukweli, lakini tafutaneni mafala wawili that actually want to be in a relationship, that want to build a family, that know what each person is supposed to do to build this family. Because I feel that the problem is this. Wanawake wengi sana tumeona wakifinyika kwa marriages. Unapata mwanamke ndio anafanya kuzaa. Yes, they are doing the emotional labor. They are also doing the physical labor, managing the house, managing the home. They are also doing the financial labor as well. Yani unapata mseni kama they are a single woman lakini they are married. So the man is getting all the benefits in the marriage na maybe hata bado pesa haleti. Msijifanye hapo ati hakuna wanaume wako kwa marriages and they are doing nothing in those marriages. Yani without huyo mwanamke hawawezi, hiyo marriage iwezi simama. Lakini pia let's understand this. When you get a man who understands his role in the family setting and a woman who also understands her role in the family setting, you guys can have a very happy marriage, have a happy relationship, have a happy home. Because see ati nikuku ati the longer you're married, ati the happier you will be. No, you can have a long miserable marriage, but you can also have a long beautiful marriage, and there are such marriages out there. So tunasema kwamba marriage inabamba mafala also because of our Kenyan setting. when you look at the laws, they are so lax. Like sai tuseme bwanako amekataa provide watoto, ukimpeleka kwa children's court, this is advice I was given actually by a person who works there, ati hata afadhali mkae chini uongee na huyo baba watoto muagree, sababu mkikuja kule kwa children's court sijui nini, like it's not gonna favor you the woman, ama it's not gonna favor the kids, you know, like you're still going to get utafinyiliwa bado, and especially if you are with a man who did not understand what being a man is. So men, pull up your freaking socks. Sawa, mi hakuna siku nitatetea wanaume, because ukitetea mwanaume leo, haya kesho utaona cha mtemakuni, yani ukoona gagabu tewe. Okay, so yeah, when you understand your roles as the man and the woman, you'll have a very, very happy marriage, na hakuna mtu atakuwa amefinyiliwa. Na ni sawa hata kama mtakuwa mafala ama hamtakuwa mafala, but you'll have upheld the beauty of marriage or the beauty of partnership. My take.
I feel like marriage Hubamba Mafala. Like no, it's not like that. It's just
you people are taking marriage advice from women who married rubbish men. Okay? You're taking marriage advice from side chicks who tell you, oh, all married men cheat, all married men cheat, all married men cheat, all men cheat. Yes, because to a side chick, all men cheat because she's in bed with one. Those are the women that are giving you marital advice on these internet streets, and you're believing them. You are taking advice from women who married men who believe that if you use a dishwasher or a vacuum cleaner as a woman, it makes you lazy. And you think these women have anything good to say about marriage?
There are so many people who have done everything right and it didn't work, because things and life circumstances changes people. So every time you say that I'll marry once and I'll marry right, I know that you're speaking from a place of naivety, because you think that you have a way of determining the future and knowing that this will end well. The only time you can know that you married well is when you come to the end of your life and you can sit and say that in my 60s, in my 70s now, I can comfortably say I married a good woman, I married a good man. For as long as you're in it, you cannot know. Successful marriages happen by chance. Most of them happen by chance because, like I said, there are so many people who've done everything right. There are so many men who will tell you that I took my wife to school, I supported her parents and her family members, I did everything by her, I was a present parent, I did everything right, and 10 years, 15 years later, she just became a totally different woman from the one I knew when I married her. There's so many women who will tell you that I left school, I did not pursue my master's, I did not go abroad, I decided to be a traditional wife, stayed at home, took care of the children and the home fort, and still it was not good enough. There are certain people who have done everything within their power and it was still not good enough, because people change, circumstances change, and those circumstances can change people. Sometimes even the death of a child can bring two people who were once couple goals to their knees and it disintegrates. People fall out of love. I remember there's a guy, we had a conversation recently and he was telling me, I'm getting tired of sleeping with my wife. I said, what do you mean? He said, I've been sleeping with her for 20 years. I'm tired. I just feel like I want something else, something new, something fresh. But he's one of those men who'd say he's a good man, Savannah. He's a present father. He will cook for the family, run errands for the family. He's one of those men that you look at the way he takes care of his children and you just be envious. And I'm so sure where the wife is, when he talks to her girlfriends, she just says, I got myself a good man, and she's not wrong. But people fall out of love. And you see, women are obsessed with the idea of romance and love. That's why they think that there's a person out there that they'll meet who will only have eyes for them, will not want to eat anybody's food, and will only be interested in them and them alone, because women are struggling right now to accept the male nature for what it is, because it's a brutal fact. There's no man who is beyond the male nature. If a man is not cheating, it's not because he can't or doesn't want to, it's because he's disciplined. He has to exercise discipline. He has to exercise it. He knows he has to exercise it. But it's not because he can't. It's not because he cannot fall under the temptation. For as long as a man is straight, he will always, always have a problem with satiating the desire for women. And that is why they will have to exercise discipline throughout their lives. And there are some who will try now to look for it just by having a female friend, either at the workspace, in business. They may not act on those urges, but they will just want to have proximity to a different woman, even just through friendship. And sometimes they may not act on the impulses, but they will now just love to exercise it by looking at the women on social media. Those women that they desire, they will know that they will not have to act on those desires, but they will just like to follow them on social media and just admire them from a distance. And this is a truth that most women don't want to accept, because women want to think that he will only have eyes for me. No other woman will ever interest him. No other woman will ever. I will marry once and I'll marry right. If you're a smart woman, should not escape your mouth. Like I mentioned, there are so many women who got married last year, 5 years ago, 1 year ago, last year, and they'll tell you this thing is beautiful. Forget about what those women are saying. Those people are saying about marriage. This thing is beautiful. And then 10 years from today, most of them will not be around. Most of them will not be together, because 50% of marriages end in divorce. And 70% of the time, it's initiated by women. When you look at a woman right now talk smack about marriage, she will tell you that the first 5 years, sometimes even the first 10 years, she was happy. She was couple goals. She swore by her marriage. She did everything. She got home on time. She was happy. And then something along the way happened and changed. And that is why some of them will tell you that I'm divorced after 30 years and I will never ever get married. Why? 8 out of those years were brutal, but 22 years she was happy. For 20 years she was happy. And she would say that she married a good person. Same thing happens to men. They'll tell you that I married a good woman. And then something along the way just happened and we could not